Hello, Fantasy Faithfuls, and welcome to the CSD Fantasy livestream. We are back for another week, week 5 of fantasy football. I am so ready for this one. We already have people here joining in the chat with Mellow Fan. What up? How's it going? You're ready for this week and hoping for a good fantasy matchup, but you don't know who's gonna win. Please post your entire team here and your opponent's team, and let's look it over real quick. And see what we can deduce from that. Wesley, welcome to the stream as always. So happy to have you on board. I hope the sound and audio, the audio and video quality is good today. Have a new mic set up from last week, so I'm extremely excited about having that up a little bit better as well. And Wesley says you need help. I am here for whatever you need, and will answer all your questions. I decided to start the stream a little bit early this week. Thank you, Wesley. The sound and video is good, apparently. That's so good to hear. And that's a pet peeve of mine to figure that out every week. But like I was saying, I decided to start a little bit early this week. Might be a little later next week. So it's going to be 11:50 or 12:10 moving forward, most likely. And not 12 on the dot. But we have Wesley right away with Aaron Rodgers, or Kyler Murray. And as we're moving into week 5, before I hit this one, Murray, Wesley, we now have full rookie projections for this week. I'm moving closer to being done with a fix for running backs. Due to the Wayne Gallman, I'm going to call it the Wayne Gallman situation where RB1 goes down. I'll fix that for wide receiver so you can see. Let's bring up Geronimo Allison. His projection is 6.1, which has been bumped up due to the fact that Devontae Adams is out. So if you have an out status or a status that says that you won't be playing and you're a wide receiver 1 or 2 or whatever you are, the remaining wide receivers on your team will get a bump in the projection. That's something I'm working on for the running backs position, but I still haven't figured out what to adjust for with carries and projection points and things of that nature. It's a little bit tricky to get it to work for all running backs and not just for one running back moving forward. But let's get into Aaron Rodgers versus Kyler Murray. I have Murray for a higher projection, but a little higher risk. But this makes it pretty even with 16.4 and 48.9 versus 17.2 and 53. So that's pretty even. Murray has a much higher. He has a 2-point higher floor than Rodgers, but his ceiling is so low right now. I don't particularly like any of them for this week if we compare to somebody that I do like. 19 with Carson Wentz, 19.6, 40, 12, and 23. That's more of what I'm looking for with a 40, much lower risk than the other two with a high projection. But if I have to pick between these two, that boom chance for Murray is very high, and the floor is higher projection. They say it's going to rain, and it's raining in Cincinnati, and with that knowledge, I have to go Aaron Rodgers. Please check the weather on this one, Wesley. If the rain keeps coming down in Cincinnati, I would sit Murray. Otherwise, I would probably go Murray with the upside and that boom chance this week. Thank you for hitting that like button. Appreciate it a ton, and that goes for everybody. If you enjoyed the stream, please hit that like button and share on social media. It helps the channel grow and it helps me create even more quality and quality and quantity. It's a struggle right now to speak, apparently, but I'll get better as we move forward. We have Mellow Fan saying QB Rodgers. Okay, we have the full teams. Perfect. QB Rodgers, Bell, Gallman, Juju, Fitz, Alshon, defense Cardinals, and kicker Rams who played. QB Dak, Jones, Shady, Amari Cooper, Boyd, MVS, Jimmy Graham, Eagles. Oh, that's a heck of a Green Bay stack with the Cowboys there on that second team. With the rain coming down in Cincy, I'm a little bit scared for Tyler Boyd. Otherwise, I like him a lot. Shady, I have him highly ranked for this week. Aaron Jones, not sure what I have Aaron Jones for. 10.9, decent. I think those teams, like you said, are pretty darn even. Your tight end is Evan Ingram. Okay, I like that. I think I'll definitely give you the edge if you have the Rodgers, Bell, and Evan Ingram team, especially if it's PPR with that you have Fitzgerald. Even though I keep bringing up the rain. Shane, welcome to stream. So happy to have you on board. Dan DeMarino, welcome. So nice to see both y'all. We have Dan in a PPR flex situation with Mark Andrews. And that's not how you spell that. Andrews. And Damian Williams. To PPR, we have a high projection for Andrews, 8.9, about the same risk, but with the same projection floor, 2 points versus 11, so a lower ceiling for Mark Andrews. Pretty easy opponent in Pittsburgh for a tight end. PPR, I have him for 6 receptions with 15 total points in PPR. So I'll have to 5 receptions for Damian Williams. That's pretty darn on good though. I'll have to go Mark Andrews on this one, even though his ceiling is 4 points lower. 3 points lower. I like his prediction and the PPR points. It's going to stack up. So I'll have to go Mark Andrews over Damian Williams. That was Shane for PPR. Dan DeMarino, what's up? How's it going? How you doing? We got Stephon Diggs. Ooh, these are some difficult. This is going to be a difficult one. With Stephon Diggs, Wayne Gallman, and Gallman, I'm still struggling with his projection. It's the algorithm does not just fix it, and that's something I'm working on. And Jarvis Landry, 4 running backs when RB1 goes out. But Gallman had such an outing last time. I'm not trusting Diggs at all, especially with the trade rumors. I think they're gonna feed Adam Thielen instead to make a little bit of a statement. Highest floor, second highest ceiling for Landry. High boom chance for Gallman, of course. Easy opponent in San Francisco for a wide receiver with the 7th easiest opponent. And what's this? PPR. You need to pick 2. I will go Jarvis Landry and probably Gallman just for chits and giggles. Even though the projection is lower, I don't trust myself with Gallman, and that projection from last week, it's a high boom chance, while Diggs has a massive bust chance of being below that floor. So I will go Gallman and Landry on that one, and especially in PPR, Landry racks up points versus San Francisco, 7th best opponent for a wide receiver with 5 receptions. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh, yeah, check out that weather, Wesley. You have Marlon Mack, Melvin Gordon. Oops, I missed to add him. Oh, my God. Well, that's a mistake. My bad. I'm trying not to start Melvin Gordon. They say he's going to get half of the workload this week. I'm trying not to start him. I'm starting Austin Eckler over Melvin Gordon still in one league. So I trust Eckler a little bit more this week than I trust Gordon. We talked about Gordon on the Fantasy Rabbit Hole podcast this week. And I had him, 5 carries, 5 yards for 2 touchdowns. No, but I think that's what you're going to see. I don't think they're going to throw him into the fire right away. I'm still trusting Eckler one more week to see what's going on before I start tossing Melvin Gordon into lineups. But that's me being a little risk averse. He's an upside pick. Right now I don't have a projection for him, which is kind of awkward. For today, some stuff just falls through the crack, I guess. But you had Melvin Gordon or Jalen Samuels. Much higher risk for Samuels. Easy opponent though, 4th easiest opponent. a good amount of receptions. I will go Samuels and Mack on this one for PPR, and hold on with Gordon just one more week. Even though that's an easy opponent, it's a lot of upside. How's the health? I know Mack was dealing with some issues earlier. What are they saying about that right now? Is he a good to go completely? Mack will be a game time decision, and he plays tonight, which is extremely uncomfortable. You have to take that into consideration. This is a question from Wesley. Wesley, do you have somebody you can start instead of Mack on Monday Night Football? Otherwise, I'll have to go Melvin Gordon and Jalen Samuels, because if he's a game time decision and the game time decision is he's a no-go tonight, then you're screwed. So you have to take that into account. Look if you have somebody you can put in tomorrow for Monday Night Football, but otherwise I'm going Melvin Gordon and Jalen Samuels. The same for Mellofan if we add Frank Gore to it. Frank Gore. 1 reception for Frank Gore. Higher projection, higher risk, higher floor, lower ceiling. I'm going Frank Gore over Marlon Mack. Especially with that whole situation with him playing tonight and being a game time decision. I don't want to be stuck with a player that doesn't play and I don't have anything to put in instead of him. That would be extremely uncomfortable. Let's do some more shout outs. Sundress Me, welcome to the stream. So happy to have you on board as always. Fatty Beats, what's up? So nice to see you. And Mark, welcome as always. Glad to see all y'all joining in here today. If you enjoyed the stream, please leave a like. It helps the channel a ton. And share on social media to get even more people on board to help me create even more quantity and quality content. Let's get to the next question. What do we have? We have Shane for DJ Moore and Michael Gallup. What I've been hearing about, from Michael Gallup as a Cowboys fan and listening to 2 different Cowboys podcasts every day is they're hiding him, as far as I know, that he is ready to go. And he's not really allowed to showcase that he's ready to go. He's been running well in practice. He's been looking fine, making all the cuts and all that. He said he probably could have played last week as well. But the trainers wouldn't let him. 7.2 for 18.4, 2.7, 11.3. Worst opponent to play. Second worst opponent to play in the entire league right now for a wide receiver in Green Bay Packers. This is a PPR situation. I still have him for 7 receptions, which is pretty crazy against the Packers. But Dak and Gallup loves each other. They love each other right now. And if Gallup is playing, I'll have to go with Gallup over DJ Moore, who I'm not an extreme fan of. I still have him for 5 receptions, which is fantastic in PPR. But he has a lower projection, high risk, lower floor, and just 0.2 point higher ceiling with no boom chance and a higher bust risk than Gallup. So I'm going Gallup over DJ Moore. And whether it's cloudy right now in Cincy, okay, if it stays cloudy and it's not starting to rain, I'm liking Tyler Boyd and I'm liking Fitzgerald a lot more. The same goes for Auden Tate. And I really hope it doesn't start to rain because I'm playing Tyler Eifert. I think he is a great DFS option today. Very cheap tight end. They can round out your roster with studs on other positions and hope that he gets a touchdown or 2 and carry you to some cash. Fatty Beats, we got Lamar or Tom Brady. Lamar Jackson, Tom Brady. I feel like we've had this one before, Fatty Beats. And I hope I was right that... yes, I was. Was that last week we had this one up and Tom Brady scored nothing against the Bills? I feel like that was It was probably last week, and I'm gonna have to go Lamar Jackson again with a higher projection, lower risk, a little bit lower floor, a little bit lower ceiling, but no bust chance, and a massive boom chance against Pittsburgh, who's been decent against quarterbacks, but Lamar Jackson with that high projection and low risk, he is actually my highest ranked quarterback. If you're looking at these two stats going into this week, and I cannot bench him for anything. It's pretty unprecedented to have that high of a projection with that low of a risk. You see how close he is to his ceiling with the projection, like that's insane, and that he has 77.7% chance of being above the ceiling. It's to me it's a fantastic week to start Lamar Jackson. That was Fatty Beats, and we got Tariq Cohen and Jordan Howard. It's going to be Jordan Howard. I knew this one ahead when I put it up. I don't like it. I really don't like it. I prefer Tariq Cohen as a fantasy player. I don't like running backs on the Philadelphia Eagles. I did not like the fit with Jordan Howard and the Eagles moving into the season, and he's been terrible. But this week I have to go Jordan Howard over Tariq Cohen, which pains me. It really do pain me. But they have a pretty easy opponent, 9th best opponents for running backs in the New York Jets. He has a higher projection, lower risk, higher floor, and higher ceiling with no bust risk and a little bit higher boom chance than Tariq Cohen. So it pains me to say it, but Jordan Howard over Tariq Cohen. Was this Fatty Beats? I'm just going to check. In PPR, even with 4 receptions for Cohen, he does not reach 11 for Jordan Howard. So it has to be Howard in PPR as well. Just tossing that out there in case it was a PPR league. Let's do some more shout-outs as we have Demetrius Bird join in. What up? How's it going, man? Ruben Castor, so nice to see you. And Luis, welcome to the stream. Good morning, good afternoon. How you doing, man? I've been loving your comments on the YouTube videos, and I appreciate it so much. I appreciate every like you give on the YouTube channel and here on the live stream. If you enjoy it, please do so. It helps me create even more quantity and quality content. And let's get back to it with another question from Fatty Beats. We got Jarvis Landry, Stephon Diggs, who I don't like, and Philip Dorsett. That made it more complicated. Dorsett. We can remove Diggs. It's not going to be Diggs. It's going to be one of these two. Higher projection, higher risk. So, given the edge to Dorsett here with a much lower risk, but 0.1 point different in projection. Higher floor for Landry, so I feel it's safer about him. Higher ceiling as well. But that boom chance is what I'm looking at against Washington this week. Let's look at projected receptions, though, as a PPR league. Oof. I think Jarvis Landry sneaks this one. Nah. That boom chance, though, 29.8% of being above that ceiling. Sure, that can be that he scores 11.6 points. That doesn't say too much. Fantastic opponent, PPR, fantastic quarterback throwing him the ball. Oof. With the 8.4 and 42 versus the 50 and 8.5 and that boom chance, I'll have to go Philip Dorsett. I really like what he has and has going forward in the 5th best schedule for wide receivers. It's a fantastic situation to play Philip Dorsett this week. We got Mark, pick 1 in PPR. Flex, Robbie Anderson. No Sam Darnold like quarterback, so only a low projection. Wouldn't have been that much higher with Sam Darnold after mono. Shade. DJ Moore, Philip Dorsett again. Or Deontay Johnson. That's not how you spell his name. Deon. There we go. So not pick 1 PPR. Dorsett has the highest projection. Let's look at the PPR points. 4. So it looks like 5 receptions for DJ Moore. Same ceiling, higher floor for Moore, but much lower projection. Lower risk though, so that's nice. But that boom chance, Philip Dorsett, 4 receptions again, 5 for more. That doesn't put more ahead of him in my book. I'm still going Philip Dorsett in PPR. That boom chance is just so high this week. So high for Philip Dorsett. Is a great opportunity to start him. Let me check real quick. I'm starting him in all my DFS lineups. That's how confident I am in Philip Dorsett and that boom chance. All my DFS lineups, and I have, is it 5 or 6? 5 DFS lineups for today, and I'm starting Philip Dorsett in all of them. He's cheap and a fantastic option for week 5. I see we got some more people joining in, so let's do some more shout-outs before we get going. Maui, so awesome to see you. 6 a.m. half asleep, but I'm here, bud. Thank you so much. I haven't seen you in any of the live streams this year, and I've been a little worried. Where have you been, my man? But I've seen you commenting on other stuff, so I'm so happy to see your name pop up. And we have a question from Mark that we're going to get to right away here. No, that was the one we just got to. We have one from Shane and Jimmy G. Jimmy Garoppolo. There we go. And Josh Allen. So a higher projection for Jimmy, higher risk, higher floor, and lower ceiling, low boom chance, high bust risk. Not the easiest of opponents for any of them, with the 18th best for Jimmy and the 20th best for Josh Allen. So I'm going Josh Allen with that lower risk, even though he has a lower floor but much higher ceiling and no bust risk. Not that much of a boom chance either, but his ceiling is so much higher than Garoppolo that I feel confident in him anyway. Even though his projection is a little lower, he has almost no. He has much lower risk of not reaching the projection. So I feel more confident in Josh Allen. Let me grab just a little bit of water and I get back to it. Ooh. Sorry about that. Ooh. Huh. Fatty Beats, you saved me last week, bro. Oh, thank you so much. All your picks paid off. I appreciate it so much. I know my biggest mistake last week was Wayne Gallman. Otherwise, a lot of my picks paid off greatly last week. It was a great week for everything but DFS. I went undefeated in all my leagues, and I hope y'all did as well. That's why I'm here, to make y'all undefeated as well. And in DFS, let's talk some DFS before we hit on some of this content. If you're playing DFS this week, I'm doing it on FanDuel. You can go to csdfantasy.com and get a promo code for FanDuel by clicking the link on the front page. But in DFS this week on FanDuel, I'm playing Carson Wentz, Mark Ingram, David Johnson, Julio Jones, Mike Evans, Philip Dorsett, Tyler Eifert, Derrick Henry, and the Chicago Bears in my big lineup. In my second lineup, it's the same lineup, but I've swapped out I've swapped out Mike Evans for Chris Godwin, and in the third lineup, I've swapped out Derrick Henry for Adam Thielen. So that's me hedging my bets a little bit with players that I think are going to be good. So if Mike Evans have a big day, Chris Godwin can have a big day as well, and I'm covered on another lineup. So if you have DFS questions of that nature, you can hit me up in the chat here as well with DFS and what player costs and so much, and trying to find the best value. Because, of course, these aren't the highest ranked players I have. Like, I don't have Tyler Eifert above Travis Kelce, but I can't pay for Travis Kelce and play Julio Jones, for instance. Sandra asked me, thoughts on stashing Washington's DST for next week against Miami? I think that's a great thing to do. I made sure to pick up kickers playing Miami. I made sure to pick up DSTs playing Miami, even though the Cowboys kind of failed on that. But I think it's a great strategy to have right now with Miami not being able to do anything. Dustin Hopkins is probably going to be decent next week as well. as Washington's kicker against Miami. So he's somebody in leagues where I'm streaming kicker. He's somebody I'm looking to pick up as well. But I think that's a decent strategy. It's on me, and I think it's going to pay off. Luis, Tom Brady or Deshaun Watson for PPR? I think Brady's going to catch at least 2. No, I'm messing with you. Tom Brady, Deshaun Watson. There we go. Whoa, that's a low projection compared to Brady's. 19.5. Much higher risk, though, for Brady. High floor for Watson. Higher ceiling. Okay, here we go. Pretty low bust risk for both of them, and a pretty low boom chance for both. Easy opponent for both as well with Washington and Atlanta. This one is pretty much as even as it gets, because the projection is tied to the risk. And you can see 19.5 is 54 risk, and 16.7 is 33, but a higher floor, so you can feel pretty safe, and a higher ceiling by 3 points. Y'all have some quarterback issues, though, like with fantastic quarterbacks to pick between week in and week out, which is pretty cool. It's mainly Tom Brady for a lot of y'all. I'm gonna have to go Deshaun Watson with a higher floor and higher ceiling and lower risk this week. I feel uneasy with starting Patriots players, as Belichick might just decide to stop passing the ball eventually. I mean, I think he's going to pass it, but he's not going to, Brady might not get a bunch of touchdowns, but he can rack up yards, and yards are not as important as touchdowns in fantasy, while Watson is going to be more in a shootout situation, going toe-to-toe with Matt Ryan. I think that's more conducive to scoring fantasy points. And he's probably not going to get sacked a lot by that Atlanta Falcons front. And where are we right now? That was Luis. Demetrius Bird. Trade. Okay, Evans, McCoy for Hopkins and James White. Ooh, Mike Evans is somebody I really like. Hopkins. Whoa, I'm not high on him at all, am I? LaShawn McCoy. And James White. So I have McCoy high projected. I'm more looking at the ceiling and floor here right now, and the strength of schedule. James White has a great schedule moving forward, but again, he's a New England Patriot, so it's a little bit uncomfortable. Evans has the better schedule as well. I'm leaning towards the Mike Evans, LaShawn McCoy side. Is that the one you have? Because then I would not make that trade. If I'm DeAndre Hopkins and James White, I would make the trade to get McCoy and Mike Evans. That was Demetrius. James White and David Montgomery from Demetrius again. David Montgomery and James White. Higher projection for Montgomery. Higher risk. Lower ceiling, higher floor. Good boom chance, though, for that ceiling. PPR. 5 receptions for James White. That adds a lot of safety to him. That just adds a lot of save points that I don't see Montgomery getting compared to White. And if 5 points is the projection, he can get 2 more and score 2 more points and go for 0 yards, and you've outscored Montgomery just on that. So I would have to, even though he's a Patriot running back, I will have to go White in a PPR situation. I would have gone Montgomery in a standard situation. But he just catches so many passes. So many passes. Ruben Castro, only 1 wide receiver and 1 flex option. I thought Sammy Watkins was out. That's the wrong button again. Why am I doing that? I'm about to watch a soccer game after this, so I have it set up so I can just start it right away. He's listed for questionable, and that's the same situation where he's questionable for a Sunday night game, Ruben. Do you have somebody you can put in on Monday Night Football if let's say Sammy can't play Sunday Night Football? Do you have anybody you can put in for him on Monday night? Otherwise, I would not feel comfortable starting him. And I would go, let's bring him up, Williams, Calvin Ridley. I don't even think I have Sammy Watkins that highly ranked this week, to be honest. I think it's Calvin Ridley. Sammy would be for the receptions. Sammy would be for the receptions. So if he can play, I would have preferred to play him. But like I said, do you have this Ruben? Ruben, are you still there? Because if you have somebody you can put in Monday in case Sammy doesn't play, I would gamble to keep Sammy in my lineup. If I don't have anybody I can put in on Monday Night Football, I would go with Ridley over the other two. I don't remember who it was. It was Mello. No, it was Wesley early on when Marlon Mack. That I felt uncomfortable starting somebody that it's a game time decision on Sunday Night Football unless I have somebody I can put in on Monday Night Football. They're saying he's going to play, and then I like him over Ridley. I like Watkins over Ridley in PPR. It would have been a closer contest in Standard. I probably would have leaned towards Sammy in Standard as well with that high ceiling and high boom chance. But in PPR, definitely Sammy Watkins. And if he's playing, that's a no-brainer. No, I would have gone Ridley over Williams. High projection. A little high risk, but I'm fine with that. Much higher ceiling. Williams still has a bust chance at a 1.0 floor, which is terrible. It's terrible. I'm not a big Mike Williams fan. Unless you haven't noticed that before. I gave him a lot of shade on the podcast we recorded Wednesday. And if you haven't checked out the Fantasy Rabbit Hole podcast, we air on here on YouTube at 9 p.m. Eastern Time every Wednesday. But you can all, of course, catch it on demand afterwards as well as a video/audio show that we do. You don't have to watch us, but it's a perfect listen when you're working out, whatever you want to do. We're trying to get it on Stitcher and iTunes as well for the future. But please check it out next week. We haven't decided what we're going to have as a weekly topic, but we will catch up with the week that was, preview the week that's coming up, and look at our sleepers, waiver wires, players that stood out, and so on. So please check that out. You can find previous episodes here on the YouTube channel if you just want to click on it and see what's going on. Is with me, Nick Faber, and Carlton Daniel. It's a fantastic show. We have a lot of fun. This week, we decided to have a bet with Leonard Fournette if he's going to score about 24.5 points again this year. And if that happens, and we have 10 Patreon followers, by the way, check out exclusive content at the Patreon link down below. If we have 10 patrons by the end of the season, the person who loses the bet will get slapped on a live stream. So be sure to check that out and see more on that. With you can actually check out the Fantasy Rabbit Hole takeaway video with just Leonard Fournette stuff. It's up on the channel right now. And please hit that like button if you enjoyed this stream. It helps me to create even more quantity and quality content. Appreciate it a ton and helps reach even more people for this. But let's get back to answering some questions. Mellow Fan. Oh, I think I've lost track of where I am. Mellow Fan, you left before Gore or Mack. I believe I had Frank Gore over Marlon Mack. Yes, sir. No, I don't remember. I have to go back. Was this PPR or what was that? But Ruben, to go back and make sure I answered that one, I had Watkins, Ridley, Williams in that order. And we have LaShawn McCoy or Melvin Gordon from Maui. This is going to be awkward. I know I don't have a projection for Melvin Gordon. I forgot to put him in the system, and I'm so sorry about that. But I do like LaShawn McCoy above Gordon in PPR anyway. This week against Indy. I trust Austin Eckler to be the lead back for that offense one more week at least. Let's get back to the Frank Gore and Marlon Mack with Melifan. What's that PPR? Let's go back and see. And my other question, PPR, Mack or Gore? One reception each. That's higher for Gore than higher floor, lower ceiling, good boom chance. It's Frank Gore for me, especially with Mack playing Sunday Night Football and a game time decision. So Frank Gore. Let's do some shout outs. I see that Agent joined the stream. So happy to have you on board as always. We got Theodore down there this year. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sorry about that, but welcome to stream. So happy to have you on board as well. Agent, you got a question right up there with Allen Robinson, DJ Chark, who I love going forward over the season, Golden Tate, or Scary Terry. I've done something to mess up Golden Tate, and I don't know what. I really don't know what happened to him. Because I know I put him in the system. Is he on the wrong? Anyway, let's not fix that. Let's fix that for next week with Melvin Gordon as well and Golden Tate. Just look at his opponent is the 21st best for wide receiver. Allen Robinson has a great matchup, but Scary Terry even did it against Chicago, so I'm playing him. I'm not sure how many you want to play, but I'm doing Terry McLaurin and DJ Chark this week. If I'm ranking them, McLaurin, Chark, Robinson, Tate, in that order, in standard. PPR, I would probably go Tate over Robinson. That was Agent. Thank you for that one, Agent. And Maui, I'm in a crazy 14-team league. Calvin Ridley or Jarvis Landry in PPR. Jarvis Landry. It's impressive that you got Calvin Ridley and Jarvis Landry in a 14-team PPR league, I would say. PPR, we got 5 receptions for Landry, 4 for Ridley. Higher projection, higher risk, but that's fine. Higher floor, higher ceiling for Ridley. No butt chance, good boom chance. Easier opponent, more receptions, Jarvis Landry over Ridley in PPR. For week 5. Maui, sorry I've been missing the live streams. The night shift been tough on me on Saturdays, so 6 a.m. is hard to. Yeah, no, I figured. I forget that you're on Hawaiian time. It's difficult to get all of that to work. I'm currently on Eastern time, so I'm perfect time zone for consuming live sports. But don't worry about it. I'm just happy to have you on board this time. We got Demetrius. Damn, I made the trade already because I have Godwin too. What do you think? Godwin is fantastic. I can understand why you want to diversify though. So with that knowledge, it do make a lot of sense that you're not putting all your eggs in the Tampa Bay basket. Because the weeks where Tampa does struggle, you're going to struggle. And the week they go on a bye week, you're going to be SOL. So with that knowledge, it do make a lot more sense. And DeAndre Hopkins, he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. He's been terrible, but he's going to be fine. It's DeAndre Hopkins. He's quarterback proof. When daylight savings move the game up, I'll be sure able to make more live streams. Hawaii doesn't roll with daylight savings. I know Arizona don't. I didn't know y'all didn't. We got Demetrius. Yeah, Smart Mode looking at buys. Yeah, I saw your comment there too. With the bye weeks, Demetrius, I think that's right. You have to diversify just a little bit. I saw, who was that playing? I was a Melo fan. He was playing somebody who just stacked Green Bay Packers and Dallas Cowboys. That's going to be tough moving forward when they go on bye weeks and you lose half your team. I'm not a big fan of that. We got Theodore with his first question. Calvin Ridley or Philip Dorsett? Same risk, higher projection for Dorsett, same floor, higher ceiling for Ridley, but a massive boom chance for Dorsett and a very easy opponent. Was this standard or PPR? I have them both for 4 receptions. I do like Dorsett more than I like Ridley this week. I think it's going to be a fantastic week for Julio Jones on the other hand. But Dorsett is to me a great start against Washington. Especially with that almost 30% boom chance and a high projection and pretty low risk for a projection for a wide receiver. So thank you, Theodore. I would start Dorsett in that league in both standard and PPR. Ruben and Williams over Ridley. That was that one. No, that was Ridley over Williams. Wesley, David Montgomery, or Darren Waller, the Georgia Tech guy, right? Or am I tripping? Georgia Tech, yeah. I went to view them yesterday. They got trashed by the Tar Heels. Who was this? This was Wesley, David Montgomery, or Darren Waller in PPR for a flex. We got higher projection for Montgomery, higher risk, about the same floor, about the same ceiling, but a higher ceiling for Waller and a higher floor for Montgomery. High boom chance, about the same bust chance, about the same. Oh, these are very even. But looking at the receptions, Darren Waller, 8 receptions, 2 for Montgomery. Taking the lead in PPR easily is Darren Waller. If this would have been standard, would have leaned towards Montgomery, but in PPR, I have to go Waller. He just keeps getting fed targets, and he keeps coming down with freaking everything. And I'm just taken away by how consistent he's been with catching the football. Theodore, you were right on Dorsett's number last week. 3 out of 9. Just watched that video. Yeah, I really wanted people to stash him and not start him against the Bills. I think it's going to be a fantastic start this week and moving forward with one of the easiest schedules in the league. But last week you should not have played him, and I'm glad people didn't. I told somebody to start Lamar Jackson over Brady. That was a good call as well. And I sat John Brown from last week. I usually prefer to look at players that I want to start, but I picked John Brown and Philip Dorsett and decided to make videos about them that should not be started. I don't think that worked out pretty good. Demetrius, sorry I missed. What was the better stash, Dorsett or Deontay? Ooh, did I answer who was the better? Deontay Johnson. Did I answer? Who was the better stash? I think Philip Dorsett should be the better stash of these two. He has a fantastic schedule. So, if just looking at these numbers, this week his opponent ranks as the 3rd best opponent for a wide receiver, meaning they give up not just the 3rd most amount of points overall, but also including the last 3 weeks. So when teams go on streaks and so on, I can adjust for streaks, but also across the entire season. So with that in mind, he has the 3rd best opponent for wide receivers right now, adjusting for the last 3 weeks and all 4 games that have been played. With the strength of schedule, that removes the current week, week 5, and only looks at opponents week 6 moving forward. So he has the 3rd best opponent right now, and if we remove that, he has the 5th best schedule. That means that he is a great play this week and a fantastic play moving forward. And I think Dorsett is a great stash. It's a great stash on your team. Deontay Johnson, good stash. Not as good as Dorsett in my book. And Wesley said it's raining in Cincy. Bolden, damn it, it's raining. I might need to look over Eifert. You picked up Brissett and started him versus Kansas. I think that's a fantastic start. I've talked so much about Brissett this week. He's a perfect option to put in at quarterback. I forgot when I was writing about Brissett this week, I forgot that he was playing Sunday Night Football, and I was talking about him in DFS, that I was going to play him in DFS. He was going to be so cheap. But mainly I played the 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock games in DFS, so I couldn't play. I'm like, where is he? Where is he? I was looking all over the place trying to start Brissett, and it was pissing me off. But I think you're doing the right thing in starting him versus Kansas City. And we only have 18 minutes left before the game starts. So I would like to remind you to hit that like button if you enjoyed the stream. It helps me so much. Share on social media and look at csdfantasy.com for even more charts and numbers. Projections for all the players that I have in this database that you ask questions, you can find on the website as well. Check out even more video content here on YouTube with the Fantasy Rabbit Hole every Wednesday at 9 p.m. But you can always catch it on demand after as well. You can check out the waiver wire article where I picked up players like Cortland Sutton a week ago before he went bananas in week 4. And that comes out every Tuesday, so be sure to check that out. Score projection and risk analysis every Thursday on csdfantasy.com. And 2 snapshot videos that was that Theodore that mentioned Philip Dorsett. This week I looked at DJ Chark and DeMarcus Robinson. I know we're running a little bit low on time, but check out the DJ Chark one moving forward if you're looking for somebody to stash as well. We have a bunch more questions coming in, so I'm super excited to finish out this episode as strongly as we've started it. We got Eden back. Welcome to the stream. So happy to have you on board. Daniel Watson, nice to see you. Sauce Money, what up? And Sleek, we got a bunch of people joining in. So happy to see all y'all. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed the stream, and let's get to it. Eden, hey bud, I need 2 Stephon Diggs, who I've been coming down on all day. Duke Johnson, but this might be a Diggs start. And Larry Fitzgerald in the rain. What am I doing? Larry Fitzgerald. There we go. Alexander Madison. There we go. In the rain. I'm uncomfortable with that. Wesley has been the he's been the weather checking guy here on the stream. It's raining in Cincinnati. Apparently freaking terrible, so that's gonna mess it up for the passing game, and that leads me to start out of these ones in standard has to be Diggs. I don't want to, but he has the higher floor, higher ceiling. Everybody has pretty low projections with terrible risks for Madison and Diggs, but lower projection for Duke Johnson. Atlanta's been pretty decent covering the run game as well, while the Giants can't cover anybody. So with the rain situation, I'll have to go Diggs over Fitz. Otherwise, I would have gone Fitz over Diggs. But I'm going Diggs in this one due to that freaking rain. Is it raining in Baltimore too? Versus Pittsburgh? But Lamar Jackson does run the football quite a lot. I'm not as worried about him as I am the wide receivers with Kyler Murray and Andy Dalton. Oh, you were picking 2, Eden. My bad. I didn't see that. Yeah, no, you're doing the right then with Fitz and Diggs. I feel great about that. Melifan says PPR. Which one was that? That was Gore or Mac. I had Gore over Mac in PPR as well. And Theodore confirmed PPR for Ridley or Dorsett. It was Dorsett of those two. And Wesley, yes, the tight end Waller for Raiders. Love him in PPR with 8 receptions. Daniel Watson wants to know if it's Matt Ryan this week or Dak Prescott. Higher projection, low risk for Dak. Higher floor for Matt Ryan, higher ceiling for Dak. High boom chance, big bust risk for Ryan. Green Bay has been fantastic against quarterbacks. I tend to favor the floor when it comes to quarterbacks. So I would have to go Matt Ryan on this one, even though I am a homer. But I have to stay true to the numbers. That is a high risk for a quarterback. But when the floor is that high, I'm kind of okay with it. It does have a decent amount of bust risk, though. It's a tricky one. But I do have to go with Matt Ryan thanks to that high floor. That's something very important for quarterbacks. Ceiling is pretty high for both of them, and Ryan does have a decent boom chance on that ceiling as well. And high projection, even though his risk is much higher. Yeah, I'm starting Matt Ryan. Ugh! That one was tough. Was that Daniel Watson? That one is really tough. I think you can almost not go wrong with either. I like both them numbers, but I would have to go with Matt Ryan at the end of the day. You have Raheem Mostert, Marlon Mack, Frank Gore. Yeah, but I do like Gore. But are you starting both of them, and then you can look at the Mac decision at game time and change him for Mostert, or is this for one position, Mellow fan? I'm a little confused if I'm messing up on this one. Please, you just put a long comment in there with everything that's going on that team, and I'll try to figure it out. Luis, you got the San Francisco 49ers defense and Green Bay Packers. High prediction, lower risk, higher floor, higher ceiling, boom chance. San Francisco, no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind over the Packers. I think Zeke is going to run over them. Wayne Gallman or Eckler instead. This is going to be Eckler from Sauce Money. I still haven't finished out the adjustments for running backs when our RB1 goes down to adjust for it the way I have for wide receivers. So I would probably double Gallman's projection and add about 20% risk to it. But Austin Eckler is, to me, the must start of these two. I'm still trusting him more than Melvin Gordon in week 5. And Denver that's the 5th best opponent for a running back. And Eckler has been too good to be benched right now on that offense. You have to keep riding him if you're the Chargers. And I'm going to keep riding him as a fantasy owner of both Austin Eckler and Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon is still on my bench. Austin Eckler is in my lineup. I'm not going Eckler in DFS, but I'm going Eckler in 2 leagues. One of them I still own Melvin Gordon, and he's still on the bench. So you can always trust that I'm going to do what I say. So if I tell you to do something, I'm going to do the same. I'm not going to tell you to start Eckler, and then I'll go around and start Gallman. So if I lose, you lose. No, I'm kidding. Eden, also Jags, DST, Tampa, and the Cardinals. Arizona Cardinals, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Jacksonville Jaguars, DST. Bucks, 8.5, 33% risk. Higher floor. Almost the highest ceiling. Great boom chance. Difficult opponent, though. Rain in Cincinnati can cause whatever crap to go on. But it's still going to be the Buccaneers for me against the Saints. In the Superdome, it's always difficult in the Superdome, but Tampa always plays Saints tough, and I think that's going to be a fun game. But I do trust the Todd Bowles Tampa defense. They've been looking great. 9 minutes left. Let's do it. Let's head into crunch time. Please hit that like button if you haven't done so already. If you enjoyed this stream, I'm going to be real quick now to make sure I get all the questions that you have before the game starts. So just spam the chat with as many questions as you had, and I'm going to be just going at it quick. Sleek, hard flex decision, half point PPR, Philip Dorsett, Royce Freeman, Chris Thompson, or Tevin Coleman. That means that he's still, excuse me, that means Coleman is still, that the risk is not showing up. That means that he is in the algorithm, it shows up as IR or out or something like that. Half point PPR, highest projection for Dorsett, lowest risk, lower floor, high ceiling, great boom chance, easy opponent, lot of receptions. Philip Dorsett over Chris Thompson. Pick 2. So Dorsett and Thompson. Dorsett and Thompson in half point PPR. Sleek. Wesley, thank you, bro. You freaking rock with your analysis. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it. I'm gonna keep working hard to provide the best fantasy content I can for y'all. And we got Alex Smith. Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you on board as always. Philip Lindsay. We're in crunch time right now, and Marquise Brown. Lindsay 11, higher risk though, higher floor, about the same ceiling, a little bit of a bust risk, but that's a high floor for Lindsay. Higher bust boom chance as well. Pretty difficult opponent for both of them. Not sure if this was PPR, but let's look at PPR. I'm still ahead with Lindsay in PPR over Hollywood Brown. Lindsay over Brown, especially if it's raining in Baltimore, as Wesley, our dedicated weatherman. I'm going to ask Wesley to be the dedicated weatherman of all the future live streams as well. No. Thank you, Alex Smith. That was Philip Lindsay over Hollywood Brown. Jolt Gaming, welcome to stream. So happy to have you on board. If you enjoy it, please leave a like. And we got Calvin Ridley or Philip Dorsett, half point PPR. I feel like we've had this one too. And it's going to be Philip Dorsett in PPR. So that means in half point PPR as well, because he is the go-to guy in standard with a high prediction, lower risk, about the same floor, lower ceiling though, but with a massive boom chance against Washington Redskins. Half point PPR, 4 receptions for both of them, meaning 2 extra points. And Philip Dorsett is the winner. And that was Jolt Gaming. Thank you for that one. Eden, thank you so much for that. Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate you as well. Showers coming down, Wesley, in Baltimore. Oh, in Cincinnati. Damn it. Sunrise me. Good luck, mate. I'm out. See you next week. See you next week. Have a really good game today, unless you play me. And thank you for joining us. Poker Lemon, what up? Nice to see you joining in late. Philip Dorsett. Or Cortland Sutton. Higher prediction. Lower risk, higher floor, about the same, higher boom chance. Cortland Sutton, yes, Cortland. Fantastic, and this is PPR, 6 receptions for Cortland Sutton, one of my favorite players. I talked about both of them extensively on the waiver wire and score projection, and on the fantasy rabbit hole on Wednesday, and actually put out 2 videos on these guys on Instagram as well. Check out at CSD Fantasy on Instagram for even more fantasy content. But for me, it's Cortland Sutton over Philip Dorsett. I really like Sutton. Watson, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Jono Saxton, welcome to the stream. Happy to have you on board. Drew Johnson, welcome as well. Mr. Miles, nice to see all y'all. If you enjoyed this stream, please leave a like and ask as many questions as you can in the last 4 minutes. And I'll get to all of them before the game start. We got Drew, help, half point PPR, Jordan Howard, Aaron Jones, Naheem Hines. Higher prediction for Jones, lower risk, higher floor. About the same ceiling, a little bit higher ceiling for Jordan Howard, but a much higher boom chance for Aaron Jones. Difficult opponent for Jones though. That should be said. Half point PPR, I have him for 3 receptions, 4 for Hines, and 2 for Jordan Howard. So I have to go Aaron Jones on this one. And Naheem Hines is still far behind the other 2. It's pretty tight. But pick 2. Oh, Jordan Howard and Aaron Jones. Thank you for making it easy, Drew. Appreciate that. Jordan Howard and Aaron Jones. We got Calvin Ridley from Mr. Miles. Calvin Ridley. Sterling Shepard. Courtland Sutton. Wayne Gallman. High projection for Shepard. About the same risk, but lower risk for Sutton. About the same floor. Higher ceiling for Shepard. Great boom chance for all three of these. How many do you need? You need one? I don't know, but this is standard scoring. Difficult one as well. Really difficult. I do like Courtland Sutton, but I think I have to like Sterling Shepard no. That's such a high boom chance for Courtland Sutton, though. That's such a high boom chance. Above 11.7. And lower risk for that 9 points as well. I'm going Courtland Sutton, Sterling Shepard, Wayne Gallman, and Ridley in that order. Sutton, Shepard, Gallman, Ridley. Sterling, Shepard, Sutton, Shepard, Gallman, Ridley. Sleek, thanks, man. Left like, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Poker Lemon, I'm all good. How about you? Are you having a good week? Are you excited about the games today? Maui, thanks again for all the great content. Keep up the good work, bud. Love seeing the channel grow. Thank you so much. Oh, and thank you, 1K subs. It was incredible to reach 1K subs. It's been a crazy ride over the last 3 years, and I truly appreciate all y'all for making the channel what it is and helping it grow and become even more successful. It's all thanks to y'all being here week in and week out, helping me create better and more quantity content. Mello, you're welcome. So happy to do it every week. It's a great show. Thanks to all y'all. Good luck today. We're about to turn off the stream as we're 1 minute away from kickoff, at least on my clock. So I truly appreciate all y'all. Check out csdfantasy.com for even more content. Waiver wire on Tuesday. Score projection and risk analysis on Thursday. Here on the YouTube channel, you can check out the Fantasy Rabbit Hole podcast on Wednesday at 9 p.m. or on demand after that. But if you join in at 9 p.m., you can ask questions live with me, Nick Faber, and Colton Daniel. Also, check out the Fantasy Snapshot videos that releases on Fridays and Saturdays. And as always, the live stream right here on Sundays, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for joining me. This has been great. I truly appreciate it. Have a good one.